Hey, hey, welcome back to Occults Receivable, everybody. Anthony here with Theresa.
Hello.
Oh, I got an
Huh?
echo. Was that you?
I don't hear an echo.
I briefly heard an echo.
Well,
That
I
was
don't know what to
weird.
tell you.
Well, whatever. We're here, and we're playing Stray Gods. We're getting back into it. Um, okay. What's up, Loop? How you doing?
Hi, Loop.
Okay. So before we get into this, because it'll just I think we were like at a location select. Let me I've been thinking about this. Yeah. Okay. So we just finished the whole thing with the Minotaur and Hecate,
Yes.
and so okay, right now, like we're kind of short on suspects. Like Apollo didn't do it, Persephone
He's
didn't do it.
yeah. He's too sad. She's too
Apollo's
busy.
exactly. Apollo's too sad, and Persephone. Well, Persephone's too busy, but also she clearly had like a connection to Calliope because of how the gods and the muses kind of generally fucked them over.
Yeah, mutual bullshit.
Yeah, mutual bullshit. So they were kindred spirits. We haven't met Aphrodite yet. Like I'm sure we'll come across her whole business.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm scrutinizing Athena, but obviously I'm a little genre savvy. We're meant to be scrutinizing Athena, especially since Calliope went to Hecate's tower, and that's where she was attacked. Like Medusa was
Yes.
there, and Athena swore Hecate to secrecy. To
Mm-hmm.
can't talk about what happened.
Yes.
So obviously she covered up the attack. Now it's easy for everyone to be like, oh, would Athena do it? People are starting to speculate Athena. I don't think that's the case. I think that Athena was an accessory to the crime, that she covered it up for reasons that we haven't figured out yet. But
Yeah.
I think that the culprit has yet to be shown.
Yes.
Like I don't think it's anyone we've met yet, but we should go. So we should confront Medusa or talk to Apollo. Um, do we want to talk to Sad Dad or do we want to see Medusa?
Um.
No wrong
Well,
choices, but what are you feeling?
I remember. Sad Dad was gonna help us with something else,
Right.
but that was before we learned about Medusa.
Okay. Oh,
But
we
we can
can
do
do both.
both.
And there's also
We also
Freddie.
talk to
We
Freddie.
could also talk to Freddie, who is our gal pal that we're trying to romance because she's our best friend, but also clearly our soulmate and other half, and a big nerd.
Hell yeah.
Let's go talk to Freddie.
Let's go talk to Freddie.
Let's go to Freddie.
Hey, hey, so what's the news, Miss Muse?
Miss Muse.
Well, does a muse have a proper form of address? I just want to hear what exciting adventures you've been having. Anything else okay, though? Do we know who the killer is yet?
Not just yet, no.
Okay, well, let me know if there's anything I can do. If I have to hustle to become your high priestess, well, so be it.
Oh, High Priestess.
Ooh.
Let's see. What do you know about
Exactly
the gods?
how much do you know about the Greek gods, Freddie?
I know my Greek mythology, but what I've read clearly doesn't line up with who they are today. Or who they ever were, maybe.
Still might be useful. There's gotta be some truth to those stories, right?
Maybe? Who do you want to hear about?
Oof. Okay, yeah, we got a lot. Let's start with Calliope.
Do you know anything about
Yeah.
the Muses? Or Calliope in particular?
Yeah, for starters, there were supposed to be 9. Though I guess there are some sources that said there were only 4, maybe 3. Each of the muses had her specialty. Did you know that Calliope is supposed to be the muse of epic poetry? She inspired the Odyssey.
Wow. I don't even like poetry.
It was said her singing voice was unmatched. So they got that part right, at least.
Did she also lead the ancient Greeks in giant choreographed dance numbers?
No, but she once turned a bunch of snobby princesses into magpies, so there's that.
Can we just talk
pretty
about?
cool.
I know. Can we just talk about Freddie's style? I love her everything.
Everything is very good.
That hat, man. She's got that fit on lock.
It's a little weird that she's wearing it in her house, though.
I mean, Yeah, but still, I mean, listen, when you look that good, you could wear it wherever the hell you want.
That's true.
What about Apollo?
Well, it's
Okay,
about
so the
sad dad.
prophecy stuff checks out. Apollo was god of the sun and light, but also kind of enlightenment in general. He's always talked about as this beautiful and cultured god involved with the arts and the muses, kind of a Renaissance man before the Renaissance.
He's clearly had a rough time since those days.
Well, he was also a giant horn dog, Grace. I can list off like a dozen men and women Apollo has had as lovers, and there's probably more.
Weren't they all like that, though?
I mean, Apollo's no Zeus. He never assaulted anyone as a swan. And no, they aren't all like that. Our sun god had a reputation.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad Freddie knows all of this stuff.
Me too.
That's yeah.
Tell me what you know about Persephone.
Honestly, she's the least like her stories. Usually, she's either a victim or just the wife of Hades, or both.
And that's it? She was kidnapped by Hades, end of story?
Pretty much. Her mother was so angry, she created winter. But otherwise, Persephone was just your average sweet and virginal fertility goddess.
You're right, that doesn't sound like her at all.
Must be hard to be defined by this one thing that happened to you thousands of years ago. I'd be pissed if everyone thought my story ended there.
Yeah.
Hell
She was
yeah.
pretty
Point.
pissed. That much is true.
All right, we gotta do Pan.
You said Pan was some
We
kind
gotta.
of lust god, right?
Yeah, kind of. Pan's a god of the wild, and I guess that translates into a sort of lustfulness and earthiness, humping nymphs in the forest sort of thing.
And you don't like him.
Honestly, he's exactly what I'd expect him to be. All the stories say he's a lech and a beast. The Christians equated him with the devil. Though it's never really clear how or why. Anyhow, there's a great statue depicting Pan having sex with a goat. Next time you see him, you gotta ask him about it.
Freddie, goddamn, she's so animated and brilliant.
Freddie, where is the statue?
Freddie, where's the statue? Tell us, Freddie. Let's ask about Athena.
What about Athena? Is she really supposed to be the goddess of wisdom?
Sure, but mostly that's meant as tactical knowledge. Athena wasn't all sweetness and light. She was a warrior goddess. She was also the goddess of heroes. There are loads of stories where Athena helps guys like Odysseus or Jason or Perseus.
No female heroes back in those days?
Yeah, I
Unfortunately.
guess not. Women were the weaker sex, which maybe is why Athena was portrayed as being vindictive. She cursed Medusa, one of her own priestesses. She turned people into spiders, struck them blind, started the Trojan War. It's the whole thing.
Not being as wise as advertised is on brand for her then.
Huh. I forgot Athena and Medusa had a connection.
Yeah, because didn't I think Athena's husband
Yeah.
assaulted Medusa?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I want to say I wonder if that's relevant, but this story has done a...
Loop says no.
Oh, okay.
I was never really into Greek mythology. I had a section about it, like my 7th grade history class, and I was like, okay, cool, whatever.
I used to read a lot about it, but I have forgotten. All knowledge that I had of Greek mythology fell out of my head when I got too into video games and anime.
That's fair.
I replaced all of that knowledge with working knowledge of like all the video
okay.
game systems.
Athena was a virgin goddess, but Poseidon seduced or assaulted Medusa in one of Athena's temples.
Ah, okay.
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 Thank you, Loop.
Thank you, Loop. All right, let's ask about the idols.
Just how many of these gods are there? From what I've heard, lots of idols live around here.
Well, there are tons of minor gods in Greek mythology, hundreds even, depending on how you define them. Oddly, there is never any mention of the word idols in relation to them. Maybe it's like how people worshipped idols?
I sort of assumed it was related to the eidolon.
Which is a Greek word, but I think it means ghost. An image of someone after they die.
Makes sense.
Me, I'm more amazed at all the big names missing. Not just Zeus and Hades, most of the Olympians seem to be gone. Makes you think about what's been lost, but also what might still be out there.
Hell yeah. I'm going to ask about the other one.
You think there might be other gods out there?
Well, there are all those gods the idols say wandered off. We don't know they're dead for sure, right? They could be living it up in Australia. Who would know? Then there are all the other mythologies, hundreds of cultures, each with their own pantheon. So what's so special about the Greeks? That only their gods are real, right? All those other pantheons could be living in secrecy, just like the idols. And that means they're hidden from each other, too. Oh, they could be everywhere, and no one would know.
It's like a whole other secret side to the world.
That's awesome.
That's cool, right? I hope I get to meet Ganesha one day. Or maybe Lakshmi?
She's precious. She's so precious.
I wonder how much of those stories are true.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I'm giving you the quick version. There are reams of textbooks out there covering all this, but even they rarely agree with each other.
Really? Nothing definitive?
Ancient Greece was 3,000 years ago, Grace. Not much information survived all that time, if it was even valid to begin with.
How have the idols stayed a
You know
secret?
what I find weird? That the idols have managed to remain completely secret all these years. Sure, they have magic and whatnot, but in all this time, nobody's found them out? Athena is that good?
Who says nobody has found them out? The way I see it, it's like UFOs.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
I have to hear this.
Okay, so
Please,
you have
Freddie,
real
enlighten us.
evidence that UFOs exist and that governments have covered it up, and people still wouldn't believe it. Why? Because they'd get laughed at if they admitted it. Imagine the headline: Greek gods exist and are living among us. What website would even run that?
BuzzFeed.
Weird conspiracy ones. Yeah. You're right. What are Kaz and Brian up to? You didn't tell them anything, did you?
No, I told them you came home, that you're okay, but that you're having a moment. They send their love.
Should we tell them?
Aw.
Do you think?
You're having a
What
moment.
for? They have their own problems. Plus, Brian can't keep a secret to save his life, and Kaz is officially homeless.
Is he still crashing on Brian's couch?
Grace, you do know that Brian doesn't have a couch, right? Just some giant beanbag things?
Then where is Kaz
Oh.
There was only one bed.
Yeah, it's cute. They'll tell us when they're ready. But right now, it's best just to not mix them up in this.
There was only one bed.
I should really apologize about the band. This kind of puts a dent in your plans, doesn't it?
You're right, Grace. How dare you sabotage my dreams? I am so mad I could spit.
You know what I mean. Nobody could have seen this coming, sure, but it's always been something with me.
Well, as I see it, there are two ways this goes down. One, neither of us gets back to the band. It was just a thing we did for a while before I founded a cult in your name. Or two, we get back to it and the band now has the Muse as its lead singer. Edge of Elysium becomes the coolest and most appropriate band name ever.
Yeah, I still really hate that name.
Look, Grace, you can't be the source of all the drama and name the band, okay? That's the rule.
Freddie is the best fucking character in this game.
Seriously.
All right, yeah, no more questions.
Okay, that's enough questions for now.
You sure? I can talk all day. You know I can.
I'll check back with you soon, Freddie. Time for more mystery solving.
I want more games of just the two of them, just going on adventures and being nerds at
I
one
know,
another.
right?
That's all I want.
Same. Same.
Okay, let's do Medusa. I love Apollo, I do, but I need to know what's up with Medusa.
Yeah, let's go find out Medusa's whole deal.
And I want to see how Medusa's portrayed in this. Like, I'm really interested in that.
Yes, same.
This must be the Viper's Nest. Scariest part of town, no sign. Just that one dude glaring at everyone. Well, I'm here now. Just another day in the life of an idol.
Oh, there you are. Man, this place is the worst.
Do you have a mace?
Don't peed on me.
Freddie? What are you doing here?
What, you thought I wouldn't notice you skulking off? You didn't even bring any equipment, Grace.
I mean, I adore you. I mean, I'm gonna say I adore you. I want to know about the mace.
Freddie, please tell me you don't think you're some kind of adventurer.
I'm sorry, are you not about to head into a monster's lair at great personal peril? What else would you call that?
You're such a dork. I adore you.
Good, because I'm not about to let you wander in there without backup. Who knows, maybe the stuff I know about Medusa might actually apply. Well, that'd be a switch.
Why is did you bring a mace not an option?
I know.
Do you think she actually turns people to stone?
Let's hope not, or this could be a short visit. Or a really, really long one.
No,
I'm
Aunt.
serious. Perseus used a
Discord
mirror
shit
to
the
reflect
bed.
Medusa's
no.
gaze back at her. Oh, maybe you could use your phone.
You think that would work?
Unless you brought a mirror, Grace, it's all you got.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. That's weird. 1 second. And there we go. Tell me what. No. Come on. There we go.
Okay, I'll bite. What do you know about Medusa?
Well, you know, she was human once, right? And she was cursed?
Not really, no.
Cursed by Athena. Or so one of the stories goes, anyway.
But doesn't she work for Athena?
Hey, don't look at me. My knowledge of this stuff stops at a few thousand years ago.
Medusa is a monster, though.
She was once human, but she's definitely a monster, right?
Yeah, one of the worst. But, you know, so was the Minotaur.
Asterion said she was scary. I have a feeling she's not like him.
Then I guess you need to be prepared for the possibility that she is as bad as the legends say. Though some of the stories also say that she was wronged by Athena and that what was done to her was an injustice.
And Athena just follows the rules, right?
Let's do this.
Let's
Okay,
do
enough
this.
talking. Time to do this.
You have a plan for how we're getting inside, I hope?
Maybe. You're here to help?
Always.
Then I have a plan.
Hit that guy with your mace. Confront the enforcer, find another entrance, or use a distraction. Okay. I'm leaning towards distraction because I desperately want to see what they do.
Same.
Like, confront the enforcer, maybe, but I really, yeah, I want to, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, distraction.
Hi, this is where the comic convention is, right? I hope I'm not too late for the signing.
Ma'am, I'm afraid you had the wrong address.
What? No. Oh, God. No. No, that can't be right. Do you understand the indignities that I have endured? The weird looks, the body odors. Someone spilled coffee all over my cosplay outfit.
Nicely done.
No, do not tell me that I
Now
got
just
it wrong.
keep them
I spent
busy while I
$50
look
on this
around.
ticket. I demand my personal photo.
Amazing. I love her.
Holy shit, Freddie. The fact that you could do that so easily. What is happening?
Kind of makes it seem like she's experienced it before.
Hello, who's that there? You've messed up my flow. Just get your drink, girl, and take your seat. Oh, it's the Mew. There are sacred bites, and then there's this sacred bite. So
Big the little eyes peeking out from under her hood.
I know.
I'm really gonna hate myself tonight.
Before you start the show, Pan said to say hello. That's what he said to say.
Well, any friend of Pan's is a friend of Pan's.
Okay. I hate to interrupt your flow. There's just some things I need to know. I wish there was another way.
Yes, you do. Now, look into me. Your body goes freely every time as it tenders, turning
We're gonna fight.
as it renders. What'd you say, Grace? You okay, Grace? Where's the game face this time? You are currently experiencing something I like to call the preparation. Any questions or comments? That's right, it is widely known that I can turn folks to stone. But oh, I won't this time. Because this time I find dine that oozy musy bloods my wine this time. Look into me.
This is rad.
She's looking away. Hey, look
You flipped that hood.
me.
Then out came the snakes. Oh, you're so good. Finally, some stakes. Oh, the ice thing. What a difference an actual monster makes. Athena made you like this.
She was mad at me. So,
Well, why was she mad?
she said I'd been bad.
Had you been?
No. Now look into me.
Medusa, look into your own eyes. Nope. Okay. It was worth a shot. No, you're not unhot. That's my opinion anyway.
Don't look at me.
The snakes, sure they're snakes, but you can pass them off as fakes. Like it's just a cosplay.
Don't look at
You're
me.
not a monster to me. I think that you should try to see Medusa in
You're
another
lost,
way.
little girl. No more Hail Marys. The not unhot girl is you. The monster's me.
You don't know, you don't know.
Do know that you didn't.
Kill Calliope. So you know that it's true that I didn't.
I'm so
do
fascinated
it.
by this.
No.
Yes, you do know, you know. Does that mean Athena knows?
No. Fine grace.
Don't you see, Medusa? You are just her tool. Your queen's a user. You're Athena's fool. Apology could get you free. He's a friend to me.
That's what you said to me. Apollo.
Can get you free.
Get Medusa free.
Is that a yes?
I'm glad we talked to her first now.
I hope we're not talking out our ass.
I mean, we probably are,
Maybe
but
what? Did I miss something?
Is she serious?
That depends. What do you think, Medusa? Will you help me out?
Oh, fine. Fine. What exactly is it that you want, pretty muse?
I know her voice. Why were you at the reliquary? Yeah.
You were at the reliquary the night Calliope was murdered. I want to know why.
Blast! This is why I didn't tell Lady Athena. I knew it would come back to haunt me. I only followed pretty Calliope to the reliquary. I never spoke to her, never even caught up to her. I swear it.
That's what Asterion told us, more or less.
But you were there that night.
Yes,
Oh my
yes,
god,
I
that's
admit
Symmetra's
it.
voice actress.
Amazing.
Lady Athena will have my head. She'll mount it on a pike. Whatever you might think of me, I had no part in the Muse's death. I did not even know she'd been attacked until I saw her fleeing.
So was she attacked? Seems like she was attacked before she went to the reliquary.
Possibly.
I think that's what it seems like. Maybe. Okay. Asterion said you two met.
Asterion said he caught up with you out in the fog. Is that right?
I thought he was the one who had attacked her. He is a great beast of a creature.
He killed Hecate's cat by accident, but this still seems hard to believe.
Yes, I only realized my mistake once I caught up to him, and by then the Muse was gone.
And you never found her afterwards?
I thought she might flee to her pretty home, or to the sharp and prickly Persephone. She did neither.
Yeah, she came to see me.
Why were you following?
You followed Calliope to the reliquary. Why were you shadowing her at all?
I am Lady Athena's spy master, yes. Calliope has been trouble from time to time.
So you were spying on her.
I keep watch over every idol who no longer lives in Olympus, but especially Calliope. When I realized she was headed to the reliquary that eve, I followed. I had a duty to Athena.
Okay.
Did you ever find out why Calliope went there?
I was never close enough to ask. When I drew near to the reliquary, that is when I saw the Muse fleeing. She was frightened, blooded, dying.
Let me guess, that made you hungry.
I gave chase, yes, but to discover the truth. I knew Lady Athena would wish to know.
But she didn't tell Athena.
Does make sense from your perspective.
I didn't learn the truth until later. And then it was far too late.
You haven't told Athena any of this? You agreed to help, remember?
I told her Calliope was at the reliquary that night. I did not tell her I was also there.
Why not? Wouldn't Athena find out from Hecate anyway?
I was not thinking clearly. I panicked. Lady Athena barely tolerates my presence as it is. If she thought I was involved in any way, if she even suspected...
Why should we believe you? You did just try to eat me, remember?
I agreed to help you. I speak the truth.
Right, and not at all trying to cover your own ass.
You presented an opportunity. Oh, to taste the sweet, sweet blood of a hero once again. It's a problem. I've been working on it, I really have. I know it's hard to believe what a monster tells you, but it is true.
Okay, let's say we believe you. For the moment.
I've told you everything I know. We have a bargain. You said my curse might be lifted.
I'll ask Apollo. That's all I can do.
Whatever you do, pretty muse, I beg you. Do not tell Athena of my indiscretion. Show mercy. I know what I am horrifies you. It horrifies me as well. I cannot help what I am. I did not ask to be cursed like this.
Ooh.
Whether I tell Athena depends. Have you done this before?
Don't you think Athena should know what her spy master is like?
No, she cannot. I am a lost and cursed thing. No idol. If Lady Athena should learn the truth...
I want to help her.
I want to help her too.
I hope you find what you seek, pretty muse. And that we meet again someday. And sing a different song.
Apollo.
Apollo!
Pondering the big question, Grace. Do we actually believe her?
Yeah, I mean, it's too obvious.
Seems a little obvious, doesn't it? If Medusa wanted to eat Calliope, why didn't she?
Exactly.
Well, you got away. Maybe Calliope did too.
So Medusa stabbed her and then ran off hoping Athena wouldn't find out? Now, Medusa's fear was real. She just doesn't want to be blamed.
So the hunt continues? Great. More adventures for me then.
You were awesome.
You were awesome.
Would you really have tried to burn Medusa's face off with an aerosol can?
Hell yeah. One hint of googly eyes and...
What would I do without you?
You'll never need to answer that question, Grace.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, this motherfucker.
This motherfucker.
Oh, if it isn't, the lovely Grace?
You knew. Right from the start, you knew Calliope was there that night.
Well, yes. She asked for the key and I gave it to her, no questions asked. I told you I didn't know what happened to Calliope, and that's the truth. I did not. So I nudged you in the right direction.
Huh. What aren't you telling me? He wanted something from the reliquary.
So you were what? Just trying to be helpful? You still aren't telling me something.
What possible reason would I have to...
Tell me, right now.
Oh, don't be sad.
Medusa
Oh,
learned that
no.
Calliope was going to the reliquary because I told her. Now, before you say anything, I had no idea of the fate awaiting our dear muse. And you yourself said Medusa was not responsible. I simply had to know if I'd inadvertently, rather innocently...
Oh, led to her death.
Sold her out? She came to you for help, and you gave her whereabouts to the highest bidder.
I am trying to help Grace. In my way.
What do you mean, in my way? What way is that?
The way where I don't take all the blame.
What else will I discover, Pan? I'd rather learn it now than later.
I wish I could tell you, Grace. I truly do.
Oh damn, we're on day 4 already?
Oh no.
I didn't even realize. Alright. Let's go talk to sad surfer dad.
Yep.
Ah, Grace, you're back. That's good. I was just about to call you.
He means he wants me to call you because Paul here still hasn't figured out how to use a phone.
Are you kidding me, Apollo?
That's not true. I know how. I just don't like them. They're confusing.
Oh my god.
I've been contemplating our list of suspects, and I think Pan is someone we need to consider.
Hold on. What's this about phones?
Wait. You don't like phones?
I just don't like talking to people I can't see.
No, it's the ringtones. They scare the crap out of him. I kid you not.
I'm not frightened. I'm a child. Very loud.
He's so precious.
Yeah.
Can we return to the subject of Pan, please?
Okay, I thought you discounted Pan. He's
Why
on
Pan?
sale.
I thought you'd rejected him as a suspect.
Persephone did. But I've had time to think it over.
Oh, just think it over?
Pan is a schemer, a traitor in favors. He always has been. His sudden appearance in all this cannot be coincidental.
You think he could have killed Calliope after all?
Perhaps. Or he knows who did and is trying to turn it to his benefit. He always knows more than he pretends.
Yeah, that's Pan.
You might be right about Pan. I thought it could be Medusa, but now I'm not so sure.
Why? Is that why you've taken so long to see me? You've been investigating on your own?
Yeah,
Right.
Apollo, I
Let me
can
explain.
do things. I'm a capable person.
You went to see Medusa and you didn't even tell me? Grace, that could have ended very poorly.
It
worked out fine.
It could
It's
have, sure,
fine.
but it didn't.
This time. Still, you learned a great deal.
It cleared Medusa, but Pan, not so much. Just the opposite.
Aphrodite is holding a party of sorts, one you should attend. She is closest to Pan. Indeed, she knows almost all the idols. If anyone is up to something, she's bound to know.
Oh, finally we get to
Aha.
hang out with Aphrodite. Why can't you
You know
talk to her?
Aphrodite better than I do. Can't you talk to her?
Well, talking to Aphrodite isn't something anyone does with much success these days.
Well, if that's the case, what makes you think I'll get anywhere?
There's a standing invitation for the Muse to attend this party. Calliope never went, so Aphrodite will be thrilled to see you. Trust me. If I thought you couldn't get her to talk, I wouldn't suggest it.
Okay, what kind
What
of
do you
party?
mean by a party of sorts? I mean, I'm always down for a party, but
It's more of a remembrance than a party, really. It's difficult to describe.
that's awfully vague, Apollo.
It'll be easier to see for yourself. It's nothing you can't handle.
Okay, I'll go. Eventually.
Perfect. I will see you there.
So you're still going even though you can't talk to her?
Paul, you should see this. The names you wanted me to look up are getting weird results.
I don't doubt it. I was hoping you could...
Get over here!
No worries, Paul.
No,
see you
I would
later.
like to know what Oracle found, please. We can go back to talk to Apollo again. Yeah, let's see what else is going on there before we...
Yeah. Tell us about those names, Paul.
What about those names, Paul? Paul?
If that is your real name.
It's not.
Back, Grace. Is there something you came to discuss?
Yeah, the names. Let's
Tell me
get some
more about
information here.
Calliope. You and her were good friends, right?
For centuries, we were far more. I was the god of the arts, and the muses were my constant companions. We went everywhere together.
And then you stopped because you got
We had
sad.
many names, but the three most common were Cleo, Talia, and Calliope. The sisters of beauty, I called them, though they weren't always women.
I never thought of that. Do idols change gender a lot?
Most of us seek out inheritors who are like us, I suppose, but not all. Calliope, in fact, was a man in her previous incarnation. Christoph, I think his name was. A poet Calliope adored. I was surprised when she made him a muse.
Okay.
Who did Calliope become after that poet, Christoph?
You have to realize we're already into the period where Calliope and I weren't really speaking. She showed up one day in her new form, the one you met. An opera singer whose name she never revealed. We fought, as I recall. I told her she couldn't pass on every time she met an artist she fell in love with. Eventually, she'd forget everything about who we were and where we came from. She said she'd rather forget than wallow in old memories like I or the other idols were doing. It was time to wake up and make the best of our situation.
I mean, that kind of fits for a muse.
Calliope
Yeah.
was an idealist without compromise. Always. She hated what we'd become. What I'd become. She wasn't wrong.
From how you describe it, you and Calliope fought a lot.
As often as we saw each other, which became less and less as time wore on. However, she fought with everyone. Calliope hated the idols being kept secret. She and Athena would get into screaming matches over the rules, and it got so I could no longer protect her. She moved out of Olympus years ago and kept to herself. I just assumed she was wrapped up with some new artist when I got the news.
Do you regret not making up with her?
Every day I think about our last conversation and what I should have said or done differently. The problem with immortality is that you think you have all the time in the world.
It wasn't only fighting with Calliope, right? Surely there were good things too.
Is that how it sounds? No. She was marvelous. A force to be reckoned with if there ever was one. In the darkest days during the war, it was her songs that gave us hope. She kept Aphrodite alive through sheer determination, I think. Calliope cared. About us, about art, about people she'd only just met. It was her greatest strength as well as her greatest weakness.
I wonder why she picked me. I don't feel like I'm any of those things.
You underestimate yourself, Grace. I see a lot of her in you. She chose well.
No pressure or anything.
Mm-hmm.
No pressure at all.
I'd like to know a little more about the idols. I am one now, right?
You are. What would you like to know?
Everything.
What are we? Where did we come from? If an idol is a soul that moves from person to person, it must have started somewhere, right?
The short answer is, we don't know.
Oh.
I think far enough back I can remember bits and pieces. I remember my first Pythian games, the day the idols split in two over Troy, the day my first son died.
Oh, you're so sad.
Nothing. None of us do. I vaguely recall the very first Apollo many thousands of years ago, but was he the original? Did he appear out of the ether? I couldn't tell you.
How can you not know? I mean,
Isn't it strange to
Not
know where
really.
you come from?
Yeah.
For all you know, the idols could be aliens.
Interesting. The notion that there might be some other place far away where we're the norm is comforting. Sadly, our memories are filled with blanks. There was a war with beings we called the Titans. A terrible conflict where half our number died, yet do I remember a single battle. The last was after Rome fell. Zeus called us together to relay the news, told us to prepare for battle. And then, in the blink of an eye, I was in the 16th century. What made us forget 1,000 years? What happened during that time? We don't know. Athena calls that period
bottles. Maybe if you had less bottles, you'd remember more.
Yeah, seriously.
Although this gap is
The
interesting
gap
now.
you mentioned. What was that like? Did you just wake up one day, or...
I know I was alive. I passed on my eidolon who knows how many times, yet the moment I woke up, as you call it, all memory of that period was gone.
Huh.
It was Athena who found us. I was in France, I think. She came to my farm, and the moment I laid eyes on her, I just knew. It all came back. Did someone do that to us? Did we scatter to the winds for 1,000 years on purpose? It's a mystery.
What about Athena? I mean, she's the one who found you, right? She must have been aware.
Athena claims she awoke on her own, and spent the next century locating the other idols. We've pieced together very little of the gap or of our origins. We simply live with it. Gods we may be, but I'm afraid we don't have all the answers.
It sounds like when they're far apart, they forget.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they all have this gap, and it seems like at the time they were all scattered.
Yeah.
So I find it interesting that like all of the gods, or at least the idols that we know of here, are all located in this, one nondescript American city.
Yep.
So
And they all live in the same building except for a couple of them.
exactly. So it seems like, yeah, if they're separated for a given length of time, they forget who they are. Huh.
So you had a son, huh?
With that body? Seriously. Wow, I'm impressed.
Earlier
Just
you
one?
mentioned your son dying. Did I hear that right? Can idols have children?
It was rare, but yes. Back in ancient times, some of them even became idols themselves.
Some of the idols are actually family then.
Not anymore.
Womp womp.
Most of our children met terrible ends. A gift of the fates, perhaps. I don't know. The ones who weren't idols. It's hard. Watching your children grow old and die. Never understanding why they can't have the same immortality you do. Why you can't grant it to them. My first son is why I'm not permitted in Hades any longer. Let's simply say that most idols have stopped having children, and maybe leave it at that.
Ugh, you're such a bummer, Apollo.
I can't believe you're sad because your child
I can't
died.
believe you're sad.
Ugh.
How many years has it been, Apollo? Fucking build a bridge and get over it.
Yeah.
I'd like to know a little more about you. All I know is you live in a dump, you have an oracle, and you...
I'm not sure what to tell you. One day has bled into the next for so long, I feel like I've been lost in the spaces in between.
Wow, that's a bit dramatic.
Yeah, well, comes naturally. Music and the arts were once under my purview as a god.
How did that
Go
get
faint
decided?
onto your couch, Apollo.
Did you have a big hat full of pieces of paper and you all picked at random?
No, we chose them for ourselves. Some, at least. Others were given to us by our priests. We collected godly responsibilities like marbles.
People collect marbles?
Oh, whatever it is mortals collect these days. Cars, perhaps?
In this economy?
The point is, we took our godly duties very seriously.
Jesus. Apollo, my god.
You must have been very different back when you were a proper god.
I think most of us were. We saw ourselves as, I don't know, teachers. Mortals were our students, and we guided them to enlightenment. We thought we were special, infallible. I was as magnificent as the sun, and I surrounded myself with those who basked in my radiance.
That doesn't sound like you.
Yeah, I was arrogant. If there was a man or woman I desired, then I had to have them, or there would be consequences. You wouldn't have liked me. I wouldn't have liked me.
So what is
Tell me more
Persephone's
sad.
beef with you exactly?
More sad, Apollo.
Is
Give
it
me more
just about
sad.
what Hades did to her?
That's no small thing.
It seems more personal than that.
I mentioned how Persephone's kidnapping almost meant war between Olympus and Hades, yes? Well, while this was all going on, Persephone managed to escape the underworld, and I'm the one she encountered first.
Oh, way to go. Yep. Good job,
Hades was
Apollo.
hot on her heels. And I had a choice. Either do battle with Hades and start the war right then and there, or let him take her back. Zeus would have had my head if I had sparked a war. Yet all I still think of are Persephone's eyes as Hades smugly took back his prisoner.
As well you should, you
Yep.
asshole.
It's not my finest moment.
Glad you recognize it.
Have you ever tried therapy?
Apollo, have you ever tried, I don't know, talking to someone about how you feel?
No, what do you think all these
I will
bottles
never
are for?
understand this modern fascination with therapy and focusing on one's feelings.
Oh my god,
It might
boomer.
help. You never know.
Yes, I've tried it. There was one I used to speak to. Hecate enchanted him never to reveal what I told him. I don't know that unburdening myself to the man helped. He wasn't exactly trained for this sort of problem.
It is kind of hard to relate to a god, sure.
I do appreciate the thought. But I'm afraid muddling through is as good as it gets for us.
Okay, bye.
That's all I can think of for now.
Bye now.
I'll see you around.
I
Of
have
course.
to go.
I look forward to it.
Maybe like fix your shutters and paint the walls or no? All right.